Hi, I'm Beth from Restyle Pieces Boutique. Welcome back, guys. Today I am going to make over a French Provincial chest of drawers, dresser, whatever you want to call it. And this is in really good shape. It is solid wood, it's ash. The finish leaves something to be desired, so we're going to perk it up and give it a great makeover. So if you want to watch this makeover, stay tuned. So here I am with my Master Force vacuum. I used to use this on my sander before I got my Surf Prep dust extractor, but it works really well to just dust out the drawers, dust out the inside and underneath of the dresser before I clean with my Pure Power from Farmhouse Paint. This is a degreaser. It gets rid of wax and dirt and grime so that when you're ready to paint or when you're ready to sand, then you don't grind all that dirt into the surface of your piece. When I'm ready to flip it over, I get out one of my nice dollies and then I put a piece of plywood on the top of it. I'm just going to flip it on the back and then sweep out underneath the cobwebs or whatever and then clean underneath. And my husband helps me with this. This is a solid ash piece. It's super heavy. So I usually need help anyway, but especially with this one. This is where those baby spider eggs like to hang out, so I vacuum and clean it out under there very well. Once it gets flipped back up, I like to check all around the sides and the insides of the drawers, make sure they go in and out well, and that there's enough space around the drawer to have a little bit of paint on the top. This one was not working right, and I looked at it, and it looks like those stoppers that I'm touching right there either are loose or have come out. So I am missing two of them. So I'm actually going to have to find a way to recreate those because I couldn't find them anywhere. There were a few of the stoppers that were loose, even though they were still a part of the piece. So I just glued those on, wiped up the excess, and those will be good to go. Here I am removing the hardware, and I'm just taking those off and putting them in a nice container all together so I know where they are when I'm ready to deal with them when the piece is finished. So what these pieces do are stoppers when you pull the drawer out. When you push the drawer in, the drawer doesn't go all the way back beyond the frame. So I found some dowels that were the same size as the hole, and this one is the same size as the top. So I'm going to cut those with my Japanese pull saw, and then I am going to glue that bottom part in. Then I'm going to cut a top part and glue that to the top. So just kind of made my own, and it looks just like, and it's the same size as the ones that are already in there. And it should work perfectly. So I'm just going to clamp this one after I have it glued so that it can dry completely and be durable. Okay, here is the saw. It's a Japanese pull saw. It has 2 sizes of teeth. I use the smaller size for most everything so far. It is super sharp. I can't remember which video, but I have a little video of me cutting my hand with it. No blood, but it is not something to take lightly. You really want to be careful with it. Make sure your hands are out of the way. Here I am sanding the top down. I started with a 120 and it got some of it off, but it was just a really tough finish. So I decided to start scraping it with my scraper to get some of that outer finish off. This is taking a lot longer than it looks. Once I got some of that outer finish off with my carbide scraper, then I went down to a 80 grit because this is wood. It's not veneer top on it at all. It is solid wood. So I knew that I could just go to town on it and go through my grits and get it nice and smooth. I make sure I brush off the dust between each of the different grits when I change grits, and it's turned out very smooth. Check out this beautiful, solid, white ash grain. It is so gorgeous. I'm going to do a paint wash on that to make sure to keep the yellows out, and it'll be beautiful. So now I'm scuff sanding the entire piece with a 180. And that's just roughing up the surface so that your paint will have something to stick to. It won't be too smooth, and then everything will adhere properly. This is my handy owl, AWL tool that I just stick in the holes when the hardware's off, and I can just pull those drawers open when I need them open. Oops, I forgot my dust mask, so I stop here in a minute and go get my RZ mask and put that on. Even though I'm using a dust collector system, there is still some dust, so I want to make sure I protect myself and don't get that in my lungs. I'm using my Surf Prep 3x4 sander, and I use the foam abrasives on the drawers and the curved places, and then I use the flat paper on the flat places. So now I'm just rinsing it off with some water and a rag. I just spray a little on my rag, and then I make sure all that dust is off. I'm putting a tarp down on the floor because I'm getting ready to paint wash the top of my piece, and I'm kind of messy with it. I try to be neat, but sometimes the paint wash just splatters everywhere, so that's what I'm doing. I'm using Hybrid Beige from Evolution Paint. I use about 5 parts water and 1 part paint, stir it up well, and then I apply it to my top. I'm going to be wiping back with some shop towels. So what I do is I fold those once and twice, and then I can wipe back with one side, I can wipe back with the other side, and then I can turn it inside out and use the other sides of those blue shop towels. So here I am applying a first section. I go by sections and I just go from one side to the other, apply my paint wash, wipe it back, and then go to my next section. This paint wash is absorbed into the wood and it lightens it a little bit. Plus, when you put your top coat on later, then the yellowish tones in the wood won't be as prevalent. Looks really good. It'll look even better when it dries. So you've probably seen me do this before if you've watched my other videos, but here I am going to tape up my drawers. So because these drawers are flush with the frame, when I go to spray this dresser, I keep the drawers in, but I don't want any of that overspray getting through the cracks. So I'm taping up the hardware holes, and then I'm taping up the whole rest of the drawer so that I don't get any spray dust on my sides or overspray on my sides or any place else on my drawer. Then I just push the drawers back in and I'm ready to spray. These drawers were super heavy, some of the most heavy drawers I've ever worked on. So it was quite the workout to tape up all these. Oh, and here you can see I ran out of the roll of this plastic. So I have to use my second roll and kind of tape them together and make sure that there's no chance for overspray getting through the overlap. I used to find this process a little tedious, but now it's just kind of like a relaxing thing, like if you like to wrap presents. But no, I just kind of go through the motions, wrap that one, wrap the next one, and it's just kind of relaxing. So next I am top coating my paint washed top. See how great it's looking. And this top coat, this clear coat from Farmhouse Paint, it's a satin clear coat. It protects it and just is a beautiful satin finish. Now I'm priming. I'm using Kilz Restoration. It's a really light gray. It looks like white, but it is a water-based primer and it's very good with bleed through. Now that I've got it primed, I am caulking it, just the seams where you see these little cracks. I want to caulk it and get that a nice, more finished look before I spray it with color. I've been dying to use this color on something. It's called Zen Theory. It's a light green with a little bit of blue undertones. It's gorgeous. It just is so calming when it's on a dresser, and I thought it was great on a French Provincial dresser. So I'm stirring this well, Because it is cold out and the humidity is so low, this is going to dry very fast, and I don't want it to dry too fast. So I am thinning it a little bit with water so it will go through my sprayer. But then I'm also using Floetrol, which is a paint conditioner, and it helps it level better and it helps it dry a little slower so it has time to level. Not that farmhouse paint needs this. It's a wonderful paint. It dries quickly, but it also levels well. But in this weather, I'm going to need a little bit of help. I also strain my paint before I put it in my spray gun. And here I am spraying the coat. It's a little hard to see because it's a light color, but I think you'll be able to see it go on and enjoy that perfect color. You can see as I'm spraying that there are some parts that look like I've sanded something down, or it's a little bit of the wood is showing. That's just where I filled, and I didn't film it, but I have filled some little nicks or little scratches, and I sanded those down so that it would be nice and smooth. So the hardware is going on. It's a little hard to get the pieces with the back plate and the little piece that goes through the back plate and then the screw and then the handle all together. These aren't my favorite to try to put on, but they are very pretty, and I wanted to keep the original hardware. So I'm putting in some peel and stick wallpaper, beautiful coordinating drawer liners in the drawers of this piece. And oh my gosh, this tool, this wheel tool, it's a Fiskars cutting wheel. And I've linked this in my description and along with all of my products down below. Oh my gosh, it works so smoothly and easily. And I'm using a cutting mat that's self-healing. Just works great. So I just trim the sides off, smooth it down, and there you have it. So let's take a look at the before of this French Provincial dresser, and now a look at how she looks now. I think this color and that beautiful top go so well together, those coordinating drawer liners. Oh my gosh, so many colors look good on French Provincial dressers, but this is one of my favorites by far. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I would really like it if you would subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button so you can get notified when I have new videos that come out. So I will catch you next time. Bye-bye.